Alrighty. I should be live, which is good. What is up, chat? How are we all doing? This is another day of streaming. And yeah, I'm just honestly even visualizing this, just making the whole streaming thing a bit easier for myself and getting in the zone, getting in the flow of this whole streaming thing. The difficulty for me personally is thinking my thoughts out and actually expressing myself. That is something I keep to myself most often. And so that's the little trick here. But welcome to today's stream. And it will be everyday stream, I believe, because my intention is to just do what I am already doing, which is living my life, following my fun and my pursuits and my joy and inspiration and whatever I feel like doing, right? Whatever I am all about. Something I usually keep hidden. But this is what I have to do now. And so I will just do what I do. Today that happens to be I'll be working on some trading stuff. I will be clarifying my playbook, which I call the, what's it called? Return of the King playbook. And I'll be refining that, developing that, and then putting in the details that I have to for that. Besides that, I will be trading today. We will be trading. That will probably be London session or New York session around that time. So the trading will be probably a next stream of today, most likely. And then right here, right now, it's the trading, make the refinement, and then also building the systems for all the streams and all the, making the Twitch account, the Kick account, the Instagram account, the YouTube account, all the accounts, basically, the Gmails, the everything, making the accounts and then setting them up. That is the second task. And so we will be doing that. Besides that, I have to get a haircut. I don't think I have to get a haircut, but it is something that needs to be done. My beard needs trimming. I don't have my trimmer with me right now in Thailand, and so I can't really trim my beard, and now it's kind of grown too long to the point where I can't even shave it, because normally I do shave, and so I had a shaver. And yeah, that's what's going on. And if I keep looking this way, that's my laptop, my MacBook Air M2. And if I keep looking this way but below and not at the camera, which is you, then I am looking at basically myself. So here's another streamer thing. Talking this entire time into the mic, but the mic doesn't really work. So I'm just gonna be a streamer and do what a streamer does and repeat what I just said in better quality. All right, welcome guys. Today I am working on my trading playbook called the Return of the King. I will be refining the entry, the exit, the trade management. I'll be thinking through it. I'll be thinking through it with you, doing that. Besides that, we have accounts to make, like Twitch account, Kick account, Twitter account, Instagram, YouTube. We have all these bunch of things, accounts to make, just to systematize the content distribution process, which is basically my media company, which is what I think everybody should be doing in this day and age, or everybody has to do. As an entrepreneur, I feel that is vitally important to build trust, to build reputation, to build relationships, build community, build just a life around you. And to me, that is so important, building a life around me. So what that basically means is I live my life on my terms, and I'm also prosperous and abundant in all ways, like health, wealth, energy, flow, chi, relationships, like in all ways. So that's that. But yeah, and so we'll get into it. I will get into the gameplay right here, right now. We are in. And before that, should I check my stream? I should actually. I'll play my music. Oopsies.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Alright, I got my headphones on. Nice. Now I can hear stuff. Let me just go on YouTube one time and see what's going on, if my stream is working or not. This is the YouTube I'm streaming on right now, and there it is. Stream is on. Big fancy words, I like it. And I can hear myself, that's good too. Let me hear myself real quick. Yeah, the fan is kind of loud. Fan is a little bit loud, but I think it works. Yeah, silent music in the background. That's pretty good. Okay, that is really, really good. Okay, so I've just tested myself. Everything is good. And I do like what is happening right now. Alright, I just closed this now. Play my music. And then we get to work. Talk to ChatGPT or directly go to TradeZella? I think we do TradeZella first. That's what I want to do. I want to do TradeZella because I want to trade. And before I actually go into a trading session, I want to get this out of the way. Get this really clear and concise. So I'm building the Return of the King playbook. And we have different Return of the King possibilities. So what I was gonna do is just backtrack these. So chat, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna backtrack this entire thing. So I'm just gonna backtrack these trades one by one. And then go from there. Why do I yawn at this time? It's probably because I feel sleepy or hungry. Actually, I'm really, really hungry. I'm in a fasted state right now. Alright. Okay. So I'm looking at this trade now, and I'm replaying it in terms of kind of looking at the metrics. This was a $300 trade. Kind of looking at the metrics, my entry, exit, what I did. This is Euro and ZD on the 15-minute chart. And I entered here and I exit here. Or is it the 5-minute? I think it was the 5-minute. Alright, I'm a bit confused at what I'm looking at right now because I don't really remember trading this price action, and this is a trade that I took on August 1st, Friday, which was last week. And this is what happened, yes. And so honestly, this move here post news was pretty good too. I could have traded that. Yeah. The run post news, that could have been traded instead of taking the risk here at the bottom. Let me write that down. Since I knew there was NFP that day, but I was also not trading USD or JPY, so I basically thought that I wouldn't have All right, so Chad, let me just wrap it. So on this day, I was trading this, and there was NFP on that day. This is Friday, right? So there was NFP, and so I'm trading this in the London session, around the London Open. What time was this? I'm trading this. Yeah, around, mid London-ish. That's where I'm trading this. And I'm probably watching this since like here. I'm watching. And then I just want to get in. Wait, I think my entry was early though. I remember entering pre-London, like right before London opened. If I am not mistaken, that was what I was entering on. And then it did pull back, go into drawdown. Oh no, that was another trade. That was the trade prior to that. That was another trade. My bad. I'm confusing trades here. Okay, so this one I traded it basically pre-news, and maybe that's because I had FOMO as well. But this is again hindsight. This is also hindsight. At that time, this was a good trade. This was looking great. It was going to the upside, and ultimately price reaches my target too. So now looking at it in hindsight, it could have been less risky, or unless I took a trade down here, which again is pre-news, which is again risky, this would have been a safer bet here. So what I did was I was buying here, and I was hoping that maybe I wasn't expecting the NFP news to affect my trade, because but overall I was still expecting volatility because there was NFP. So I just expected volatility regardless. Not this much volatility, but I did expect it. You know what, to be honest, I did expect this volatility. So Chad, what I'm doing right now is I'm reflecting. I'm just going back and like playing the trade over, and like kind of finding pieces where I could have done better. So like, you gotta just bear with me here where I am doing this live basically. Normally I just sit and I just do this in my head, and now I'm doing this live and talking my thoughts out. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I need a way to find out who is chatting and if somebody is actually chat with them. Alright, so far nobody, that's okay. Ouch. I got really hit. I got hit here, teeped in my last sparring session. And it's really hurting. It's really, really hurting. Alright, so in this situation, what I could have done, since I knew there was NFP that day, but I was also not trading USD or JPY, so I thought that I wasn't trading the news. In hindsight, price made a move off the news. And exactly as I had wanted it to happen. Damn, son. I have to drink some water. Fresh and balled up. Alright, so price moved off the news as I had wanted it to happen. either I had a limit order at a deeper pullback, so demand pullback into a demand zone, or I wait the news out and trade afterwards, which is probably the better bet. Honestly, trading after the news is far superior, I think, because it's safer. Like the volatility, the slippage, it's crazy. That slippage is crazy when you're trading real time, and the volatility is just nerve-wracking, honestly. Especially when you're trading with size, you know. So then you got to size down too on this guy. Okay, then maybe if I trade before news, then size down. Post news, I can use regular size. That could be a strategy there. That could be something I can implement. Yeah, actually, let's see what the calendar is doing today. So Forex Factory, what's happening on the Forex Factory? Oh, we got bank holidays. Damn. All right, I'm not too keen or excited to trade today because of the bank holidays. It's just lower volume in the markets. I'm not too interested. It's all right. We'll still look, maybe we'll look, but it's a far better bet for me to just stay on not CoffeeZilla, but TradeZilla. Pretty quiet week, tentative. All right, let's go on Discord as well. Let me see what Umair is up to. He's an active member, always posting his trades and charts, which is awesome to see. He's got some really nice setups on Solana and Bitcoin and sometimes Ethereum. So it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. We got the Maverick Trading Discord as well. Traders at Maverick. Hold on. Forex chat. Yo. General chat. Yo. Happy trading, everyone. Hell yeah, happy trading. What's everyone's goal for the week? Oh yeah, weekly goals. That could be cool, you know, having weekly goals. The week's just started, so having some kind of weekly goal could be cool. Yeah, okay, so everything's good on the stream end. And alright, so let's get off the Discord now. We should definitely do some sort of a call. Some sort of a calling system. Like a weekly call with everybody. That could be cool. Wednesday's got New Zealand employment change. Unemployment rate 5.3 forecast and 5.1 previous. Unemployment going up in New Zealand. What does that mean for the New Zealand dollar? New Zealand's been quite weak recently, actually, from my memory. We got pound. Rate statements. Official bank rate. Is this the interest rate? Yep, the interest rate. They're dropping interest rates. Maybe that's why pound's been selling off as well because of the drop in interest rates. So basically what happens is when interest rates are dropping, then investors are not as keen to invest in that currency because they're getting less return, the interest rate return for their investment. So if pound is dropping its interest rate from 4.25% to 4%, that just means that now instead of getting $4.25 for, as an example, for your investment, you're getting $4. So, you know, the savvy investor, the average Joe, will want to find a better investment because they want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. So that's why the pound goes down, because people then sell their pound so that they can buy another currency that is more attractive to them. And yeah, so that's why pound has been going off. And so if people expect this hasn't happened yet. This drop from 4.25% to 4% has not happened yet. But if people expect it, then they start selling it. And if everybody starts selling it, obviously the price goes down. And by the time the news comes out and then it's official that this is happening, price has already been discovered, or price has already reached a price that has been priced in. So these are things as traders I know, or as a trader I know, because we trade the markets, and the way things impact the markets are very different. So it's very counterintuitive sometimes too. But yeah, so on Thursday we could be looking to buy British pound, because I have a hunch or an intuition that because this is what's expected, pound probably sells off for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday until 7 p.m. my time. And boom, that's where pound does it. It just pops, because when the news comes out, it's official and it pops. I could be wrong, you know, but that's what's expected. That's what normally happens. Interest rates normally have a curve, actually. Let me show you about interest rates and a curve. Something interesting. So normally what you see with interest rates is they will go up, 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 and then when they stop, they will start down, 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 down. And there's a trajectory there. It works quite in a trajectory. Like if it's up, it's up, 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 up. If it's sideways, it's gonna be sideways. And then if it's down, it's down. So we're expecting further down because the economy just works that way. And so if we're further down, I expect this pound news to be down. So then we can game plan around that and see, like, how can I take advantage of this, knowing that pound probably sells off until Thursday. Today's Monday. And then by the time it's Thursday, the price is so low and it's so favorable for the buyers, and the news is out and everybody knows about this and it's official. And so that is the perfect volatility for a boom, upward spike. That could be cool. That could be a cool trade. So maybe we might have that on Thursday. Might put that in the stream. So come check out the stream too, if you are not already tuned in. We'll trade it live. It'll be fun. So we got Thursday. I gotta clip this. How many minutes am I into this stream? Let me see. About 25 minutes into the stream. And then Friday is pretty off. Unemployment rate as well. Unemployment in Canada is going up. Unemployment in New Zealand is going up, or at least it's forecasted to go up this week. Let's see what it actually comes out as. But for now, New Zealand unemployment up and Canadian unemployment up. Forecasted. Not official, but forecasted. That's what's happening.
and then the pound interest rates down, obviously. So that's happening. All right, now I am back to the journal. So we know what's happening this week. We have, today's a holiday mostly, so, not really gonna mess with it too much. And then PMI on Tuesday, nothing much really. Wednesday, New Zealand. Thursday, pound. And then Friday, CAD. So, second half of the week will be pretty good for trading here, I believe. Volatility should be picking up second half of the week. So New Zealand, trade around the New Zealand, trade around the pound, and trade around the Friday CAD. So second half of the week. First half of the week could be just chilling, more relaxed. That could be a way to go. All right, let me close this. And then let me come here and do this. TradeZilla. Fuck, how do I do this? Let me open up my trading view. Again, it's all about systems. I'm trying to figure out efficient systems for me to just live my life the way I want to, or the way I am, and also effortlessly kind of produce like content and do everything that I must. So this was the trade last week that I was looking at from here to here initially, but my official target was 0.6, which it reached actually perfectly. So that's just pretty cool. And on the daily it was just and this was my calculation. I was like, from here to here I can expect that kind of volatility. It went further more, so that's kind of cool. But let me see how I could have traded this in real time, honestly. Oh wow, I'm getting hungry. So when I was here, I had higher time frame confluence. I had the thing is, at this time the moving average was down here, so I couldn't really, it didn't look like this. It wasn't as simple as, oh, let's just buy and then it goes up. It was like, okay, where do you buy? What time do you buy? And then where's the stop loss? Like, at what point are you wrong? And then how many attempts do you take at this trade idea? And what's your risk appetite? Like, there's so many things that go into a trade that in hindsight it looks easy, and like, yeah, we'll just buy here and went up, like, because of this line, oh, just buy it and it's above this. But no, like, in reality there's so much more to it in real time, in execution. And execution is where the money is. So that's where all the focus should be, but that's the hard thing to do. It's easier to just keep trading instead of going back and like dissecting your trade and like dissecting the execution that you had on your trade and seeing every nook and cranny of how you function and your beliefs and why you did what you did and how the trade played out, what the market was doing. Like, so much goes into that, and that's hard work, but that's the work that really ultimately gets you the money that you're working for, you're trading for. Trading is like running the 100-meter race. When you're actually executing, that's running the 100-meter race. You're just like Usain Bolt, that's just running the 100 meters at the Olympics. But how about the 4 years of training, rigorous training, hard work that nobody saw, that made him able to run the race to win the game at the Olympics in like what, 9 seconds, 10 seconds? So 10 seconds of like performance, execution, that's backed up by like 4 years of dedication, consistency, and hard work. Trading is the same way. Everything is the same way, honestly. And so if you are making money from trading and you want to take this seriously and actually make money, this is the hard work. Do this and you will make money. I guarantee it. I promise it. But you have to do this. This is the hard work. And I'm doing it right here in front of you, live. So come check it out. Dissect me with me. Talking so much makes the mouth dry, that's for sure. I'm just drinking some water. So what I was doing with this trade last week was I was on the 5 minute and I bought this. I believe I bought it here. I'm quite sure I bought this here. So my setup was right here. And the reason I bought it right here was because I was watching this, and at the time price was here. So the 4 hour actually looked like this. All right. So this is what the 4 hour looked like, and on the daily price was down here. Oh, no, it was not down here. It was up. It was basically up here. Price was up here on the daily. That's where it was. And so I'm looking at this right here, and this is around these levels right here. And so I'm waiting, and then this candle closes. I'm like, okay, cool. Price is about here at this time. And so I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, on the daily, this is just a pullback, and price, I expect it to go to these highs again, which is 1.96. And so on this chart, I'm targeting 1.96, but I also believe that this price here is the first level to reach. You know, there needs to be extreme volatility to kind of get up here in a quick fashion. And so now became the question of timing. Like, okay, I want to buy this, but what's the good time here to do that? And what's a realistic expectation? So for me, the most realistic expectation was price reaching 1.95 in a relatively shorter period of time. And so compared to these higher prices like 1.955 or 1.96, so that was the expectation here. And so I created these levels of like, okay, potentially on the 4 hour, how deep of a pullback can I or do I want to expect? And so for me, this was this zone I created. I was like, okay, price can kind of come tap into here, or this entire range here, this entire box. Like, so for me, this entire area, price can pull back on the 4 hour, right? So that's what I was looking at. And so once this happens, price is playing, and about around here, I'm like, okay. Price kind of starts, you know, I was looking at it here. I'm trying to buy it here, but I kind of missed this entry up, and I was pretty gassed about that. I was pretty salty about it. I'm pretty salty about it, you know how it is. It is what it is. But I'm being a true professional about this too. And so I handle my emotions. It's cool. And so when price dips back here, what I'm thinking to myself is, last time price was here, I wanted to buy it. And I also did expect price, so I had two concerns. My concern was this: how deep is the pullback? So is this that pullback area? Is that it? Or does price pull back deeper into like this area? Is that it? So ultimately price plays this, right? In this moment, in real time, when I'm hunting this, when I'm trading this, in real time, all I'm thinking is, I don't have this thing on, by the way. All I'm thinking is, okay, I wanted to get in here and I was happy with that price, which would have been a bit of a disaster if I put my stop loss right there. I could have been stopped out so easily. And then I wanted to get, I felt FOMO for missing this. I was like, fuck. And as price went, I did such a great job at not FOMOing into this trade and entering. Because when I was taking my setup, like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, fuck, I really got to get into this because it's going higher. I look at the setup, I'm like, okay, what's my risk reward here? And my risk reward basically at that time is this, 1.92. And I'm not too excited about that risk reward. So I'm like, fuck, I can't take it. And so I did the superior thing a superior human being does. And I said, no, I'm not taking this trade. Fuck this trade. And, you know, how awesome is that? Which then presents me with a better opportunity, because then the market goes lower, and then now I'm thinking, the last time price was here, I really wanted to buy it and I couldn't really do it because I just couldn't execute on it. So price is there again. So what I do then is I basically buy it on this candle close here. I put my stop loss right below this little support at that in real time, right below that. And then my targets at 5.5. So my target somewhere here. That's my target. 4.2. I love that RR. You know, I'll take it any day. And what a wonderful trade it was, right? So price then moves. I'm like lying down on my bed. I'm like chilling. I'm like, fuck. I'm like watching and trying not to watch. And I'm playing on my Nintendo Switch. I'm watching YouTube videos. That's what I'm doing. And then what happens? Price comes down, I get in, it's okay, happening. Price is now here. I'm like, okay, this wick after this, like already after this move, I'm risking less, you know, I'm moving my stop loss like below this. So I'm reducing my risk a lot. And I risk how much on this trade? Like $380 on this, $300 on this trade on the FTMO valuation account. And then once price pushes here to these highs, I'm like, okay, fuck. Like this price needs to be staying up. It needs to break. And so at this point, my stop loss is break even. I'm even over here as my stop loss. And the trade either runs or not. And so what ends up happening is it gets stopped out for break even. It is what it is. And then this is NFP. The news comes out. NFP hits. 2030 right at 8:30 NFP hits. 18, 19, 20, yeah, 8:30 NFP hits. And boom. It's just boom into the upside. And so now looking back, I can obviously see how I could trade this because I still have the same bias, right? So either I buy it up here, or after I'm out here, I could have waited for the news. News happens, but how do I get in on the news? Like that's something I need to figure out. If I want to take advantage of this, I need to be getting in on the news if I want to trade this news. And how do I do that? That's a good question. Like getting in right before the news is fucking scary, dude. Honestly, it's risky shit. Risky shit. Okay, I'm feeling quite hungry. You know, I'm gonna watch myself. I'm gonna watch my own stream just for the sake of it, just so I can see what I'm doing and be an audience actually to myself. I'll be my own audience and see what's happening. Because I can see this being cool. Chatting with Chad and doing my thing and having engagement, being myself. I think that will be so good for me, because one of the things I do is be a chameleon. I really become like the people I'm around in that moment, so I can really like mold and shift myself and think like other people think and feel like they feel and behave like they behave and blend in, and so be liked. But then when you are in different groups and you keep changing personality differently to cater the group and build harmonious relationships, and then being truly me, just being alone, which can be sometimes very quiet, like I'm silent oftentimes, which I don't know is a good thing or not, but now I get to kind of talk my thoughts out. Whatever I'm thinking, I'm just talking with the stream, and it's just like, okay, you get to like me for who I am, as I am. That's pretty cool. Right. Alright, so I don't know how I could have traded this at the news execution wise. Probably like a buy stop here maybe, with it here, or maybe after this extension, this here. That could have been a trade. This like that. And then how much does it run is how much it runs. Fuck, that was a nice trade like that too. Okay, yeah, that's what I could have done there. So in terms of the actual strategy, let me go to playbook. Let me go to the return of the king and let me see what the rules are. Trending 4 hour. You would have to define trending. Oh no, the EMA has to be in here for sure. 4 hour structure price. I've got to make a new playbook, create a playbook, create it from scratch, return of the king, entry criteria. We're gonna have to make this This is so interesting because I can get so intricate with this and so detailed. And I know actually that's the better thing to do. And so how do I systemize it? How do I consolidate it? Ah, God. I'm thinking. For example, this trade right here, you know, what I saw was prices pulling back to the 50 and the price action of that last candle on the daily, and then it's pushing higher. That's what I saw. So price is going higher. Next thing, coming to the 4 hour. So okay, momentum's shifting higher. Like prices below this is bearish, fine. But price has officially broken above, and I can see this continuing above, if not stall and pull back. So officially, like, I would like to enter down here where, you know, price is like here, where price is very close to the 13 EMA, but now it's stretched. So now it's like, okay, how deep does it pull back? How deep is the pullback before it goes higher? How much does it stall before it goes higher? How close does the 13 EMA and price get to each other before it goes higher? That becomes the question on the 4 hour. And then the execution is on the 15 and the 5 minute, obviously. Like getting clean entries with high RR and as close to the deepness of the pullback. So in this scenario, the 4 hour is very different from a 4 hour situation where let's eliminate these two candles. Let's just do that. What if we do that? So if I eliminate these two candles, see, like here, like it would be cool, right? It's always cool to really catch, like, and that's my objective actually, is to catch these kind of, like, I expect price to go all the way back to the highs, right? I expect price to be at level 0.6 here at least, and then even break higher, and then you could like kind of do this kind of a setup like that. And if you do it on a higher time frame, like okay, like that setup doesn't really give a high RR. But in real time, on a lower time frame, that could be a trade. You know, you could potentially find that. And so my system is this, where okay, I'm seeing this momentum. At this moment of time, I would probably wait for price to like kind of pull back a little bit somewhere like this. My stop loss is probably below this because I don't expect price to come below that. And my target has to be in good conscience and faith. Like, you know, my stop loss, like in this moment, the most safe stop loss is here. So price does not come below here. That's my invalidation point. So my objective is, and my target to the upside is up here, because trend is still kind of down and this is a resistance. This is where the sellers are. And so my thing is, okay, if my stop loss intention is here, my target's up here, how do I get the best RR? And I get the best RR by just kind of seeing how deep of an entry can I get. And I don't know what the market's gonna give me. So then it becomes a question of, okay, how much is price gonna pull back? That's the question that you're basically asking and then betting on and making money off of. That's basically the game. And so in this scenario, like, okay, price is above 13 EMA, it's trending, it's very close proximity. So I could say maybe, you know, that much, and then maybe I could even bet that price does not go below the EMA. Let's say that's the case. I get maybe a 3 RR, maybe improve that a little bit, make it like that. If I can really get that, right? Let's see what happens. Does price do that? It doesn't do that. So you end up missing that trade. You just do, and this is how you feel. You feel like, fuck. And then you're probably going to make some mistake. You're going to revenge trade it. You're going to get in early. You're going to do something. And so that's what I am clarifying right now for myself. Like, what are these protocols? How do I behave? How do I move? What are my reactions? What do I do in these situations? In this situation, let's say that's the trade. I never got it. So am I getting in up here and then my stop loss is something else? But then if I do get in up here and then if it ends up actually retracing further, then, and I take my loss, then it's like, shit. So that's the balance there. But based on the return of the king strategy, price is above the 13 EMA. I'm expecting for higher prices because I'm seeing the higher time frame structure. And so in this case, I want to buy. It becomes a matter of timing and precision on the lower time frames like the 5 minute and the 15-minute, that's what it becomes about. And that's what it becomes about. And so what happens next? Let's just play the next candle. Boom. More FOMO, right? More FOMO. But at this point, price is going higher. Like, this is where I was at this point. I wasn't even watching this down here. So when I started watching this, price was here already. And now we're definitely more extended. And I am thinking the same way. Right? If I remove, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, the gap between price and this, like, this is the in between. So somewhere in between, price might pull back and go higher. How deep it's gonna be, I don't know. And that's what you pay for in this game. That's what you're finding out. You pay to let your money work for you to find out if that is true or not. If it's true, great. If it's not true, you lose. And that's why you use risk management, because when you lose, it's controlled. You're not betting your whole house on it. Instead, you're betting what you can afford to bet on, given that if you were to lose 100 times in a row, you'd still be fine. That kind of is the idea of it, but yeah. Anyways, I am getting a little bit tired of talking and streaming and doing this, but what I need to do is get these rules, and I don't really know how to make these rules right now. It's something I have to figure out. But I want to end the stream right now. I also think I got some good content to talk about, or at least ideas of, like, okay, I could make a reel out of me talking about the pound and the interest rates and all these things I could do. So maybe that. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream. That's it.